Let me ask a few questions that go to something that I think is important, which is sort of a question of both a combination of citizenship and judgment, if you will, is the way I might phrase it. And I want to try to ask these questions as fairly as possible. I'm not, trying to, play some kind of gotcha game here, I assure you. But it's important to me in thinking through this issue of judgment to explore this a little bit. I assume that you believe that the truth in public life is important.
Yes, sir.
And might I ask you what your opinion is with respect to the state of American politics as regards the politics of personal destruction?
Senator, I am on record more than one time, several times, being interviewed by the press and particularly the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and I am very concerned with the amount of money that's going into politics, and I'm more concerned about the fact that politics has become mean and destructive. And when I was interviewed in 2000, I said that I was for campaign finance reform because I felt that if less money was going into politics, it would turn the whole volume down. And when it turned the volume down, I would hope there'd be less meanness and destructiveness. When 527s came along, I had the very same thing to say about them. That's the way I feel. And Senator, let me just say this. I'm against 527s. I've always been against 527s. I think, again, they're mean and destructive. I think they've hurt a lot of good, decent people. And Senator Kerry, I very much respect your dedicated service to this country. I know that you were not drafted. You volunteered. You went to Vietnam. You were wounded, highly decorated. Senator, you're a hero. And there isn't anybody or anything that's going to take that away from you. But yet 527s tried to. And with the same token, on the other side of the aisle, 527s, one 527 went so far as to compare the President of the United States with Adolf Hitler. So I am on public record as being against 527s because of all the meanness, and I'm against the amount of money that goes into political campaigns for that reason, the same reason, not once or twice, but 3 or 4 times. And I wish that Congress could find a way to either ban 527s or at least regulate them.
Senator Kerry, I just want to point out, we've gone through another 10-minute round. Yeah. I'm sure that you want to continue this line of questioning. I don't have any more questions. I feel obliged to make sure that Senator Coleman, you have it asked.
Senator Kerry, yes.
Thanks. I apologize.
Go ahead.
I don't mean that. I just want to explore this a little bit. I certainly appreciate the comments you just made, Mr. Fox, and I'm not looking for anybody to call me a hero. I think most of the heroes died and do die, and those of us who are lucky enough to get out of there are lucky. But notwithstanding the comments you made, you did see fit to contribute a very significant amount of money in October to a group called Swiftboat Veterans for Truth, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that, given what you just said about how bad they are?
Well, Senator, I have to put it into the proper context, and bear with me. Marilyn and I have lived the American dream. There's no question about it. My father came here with the clothes on his back, and the Fox family and the Woodman family have truly lived the American dream, and it's been very, very good to us. I heard a couple of mentioned here that we gave to 150 charities. I actually went back and had my staff count in 05-06, we made more than 1,000 contributions. More than 100 of those were political, 900 and some odd were charitable and to institutions and of learning and so forth. A great deal of those had to do with basic human needs. I think it was Senator Danforth mentioned every time he got a letter that had Harbor Group on it, he shuddered because it was going to cost him money. Marilyn and I both raise a lot of money from a lot of people. The point I'm making is this: we ask a lot of people for money, and people ask us for money. And very fortunately, we've been blessed with being successfully financially. And when we're asked, we generally give, particularly, if we know who gave it.
So, well, who asked you to give to the SBVT?
I can't tell you specifically who did because I don't remember. As a matter of fact,
You have no recollection of why you gave away $50,000?
Well, I gave away $50,000 because I was asked to.
But you have no recollection of who asked you to give away $50,000?
No, sir. I've given away sums much larger than that to a lot of other places. I can't tell you specifically who asked me, no.
Well, you don't think that it's important as a citizen who doesn't like 527s to know where your money is going and how it's going to be spent?
Well, I think with most contributors, and as a matter of fact, if you go to the other side of the political campaign and we give to individual candidates, we don't know how they're going to use that money and how it's, we don't.
Well, at least it's accountable to an individual candidate for whom people have to vote or not vote. 527, as you said, is mean and ugly and not accountable.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And
so why would you give $50,000 to a group that you have no sense of accountability for?
Well, because if 527s were banned, then it's banned for both parties. And so long as they're not banned.
So two wrongs make a right?
Well, I don't know, but if one side is contributing, the other side.
But is that your judgment? Is that your judgment that you would bring to the ambassadorship, that two wrongs make a right?
No, I didn't say that two wrongs made a right, sir.
Well, why would you do it then?
Well, I did it because politically it's necessary if the other side's doing it.
Well, let me ask. Did you ever see on August 20th, 2004, St. Louis Dispatch editorial wrote the following: "The smear campaign was funded and orchestrated by a coterie of Texans with strong ties to the Bush family and the president's political director, Karl Rove. The president should disown the ads and tell his friends that he wants them to stop. Mr. Bush can't wash his hands of the Swiftboat veteran smear because of his close personal connections with the principals. The Swiftboat veterans on Mr. Kerry's boat, including the man he pulled from the river, support Mr. Kerry's version of events. So do the records documenting the medals Mr. Kerry received. The attack ads, by contrast, are riddled with inconsistencies. For example, it goes on. That was in your own newspaper, in your hometown. But a month later, you nevertheless contribute to that very group that is smearing and spreading lies."
Yes, sir. All of the 527s were smearing lies,
so you see no responsibility as an individual citizen to try to guarantee that you're not going to support that kind of politics of personal destruction.
I think if one side is giving to, the other side almost have to, and I think that the real responsibility should rest with the Congress to either ban 527s or to certainly curtail and regulate them. That's the problem.